Yeah, rodeos, it's one big family. It's like that since I was in high school. It's really cool, and they're all, the same kind of people. That's what I love is it's a bunch of God-fearing, hardworking cowboys, and cowgirls, and that's the best people. I think that's what the world needs more of right now is more of that old school cowboy mentality and God-loving people.
Living life, living right. If you wanna ride with me, better hold on tight. Alright. The forecast is calling for wild rides. The forecast is calling for the wild rides.
I actually only went to high school in Deer Lodge. We lived on a ranch outside of there. Dad was a cowboy and then cow boss out there. But I grew up in Browning, Montana also for first part of my life. And we lived up there, worked on family ranches. And, we just grew up cowboying.
Yeah. Expected to do a lot of tough things early on in your age, were you?
Yeah, you didn't realize they were tough things though. It was always fun. You were horseback growing up. You're out. We were probably 9 years old running around with a 22 shooting gophers. We grew up about 100 years ago. And it was awesome. I wouldn't have wanted nothing else.
What's it like to be a Montana cowboy?
I think it's the greatest thing in the world, and then it can be the toughest thing. The spring, summer, you're in paradise essentially, and you're in the mountains, especially western Montana where I grew up. That's the most beautiful part of the world, I think. But you pay for it in the winters. It's tough. It tests you. It's cold.
Yeah, well, Montana's a pretty popular place. So if you say you're from Montana, you get some, people think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great place. Getting a little too popular now.
Yeah, well, that happens. So let's talk about bronc riding and why you wanted to do that.
Well, as a kid, I always thought I wanted to be a bull rider. PBR was the big thing, and then I got to the age I was going to have to get on real bulls, and I did not think that was a great idea. My dad rode bucking horses. My grandpa raised them, and I just thought that bronc riding sure looked classy. I thought it looked easy too, and I was very wrong. It looks easy after you've taken the hard knocks for about 4 or 5 years of it, and continue to.
So what does that mean when a guy? Because I rode broncs, some broncs too, and I know how long it takes, and I know the blackout period and all of that. Why does a guy keep doing it? If somebody told you it's going to take you 5 years to figure this out, would you still have done it?
Honestly, that's what I loved about it. I grew up playing a lot of sports, and I feel like every ranch kid is pretty athletic comparatively, and especially small town Montana. So sports come fairly easy to you. Not that I was, headed for the NFL or NBA, but I was always naturally athletic. And that did not matter whatsoever when it came to bronc riding. I got stomped, knocked out. It was the hardest thing I'd ever tried. And I think I was just bullheaded enough that I fell in love with the challenge. I thought that if I'm going to get good at something, I like this, I'm going to have to earn it.
Hey everybody, Joe Beaver here. We're promoting Hart Trailers. We're talking about the product. Let's just get into it. From the first weld to the last inspection, we as Hart have done all we can do to guarantee you've got the best trailer your money can buy. They pull good. I don't have any trouble with them. They are user friendly. I want you to know that if you have a doubt one, don't buy it because there's somebody else that's gonna buy it right behind you.
We're more than a store. We're more than a brand. We are the lifestyle. We are all things Western. NRS.
The rodeo. For 80 years, Nashville has offered its voice to rodeo's story. From Houston to Cheyenne to San Antonio. Through every jump, every turn, every heart-stopping ride, we've been the soundtrack. But this year, we welcome the rodeo to our home, our town, our music city.
Ain't your usual stop, is it, boys?
Right here in the heart of Broadway, where honky-tonk neon meets daredevil grit, rodeo and country music collide.
It's glory and history in the making.
This is Music City Rodeo.
We rodeo.
Hey, boys. Been a while since we've seen this much livestock on Broadway.
I remember the first horse that I rode and moved my feet and was trying to look like I was doing it right. I've never done heroin, but I'd say it's pretty close to that high. It's the coolest feeling in the world, and I also didn't have to go to rehab for it. So it's the adrenaline rush, the accomplishment, everything about it. It doesn't slow down. You still make a great bronc ride and you feel like you're on top of the world.
So when you heard about them having a rodeo in Nashville, were you like, and especially with the purse money, were you like, I'm going?
Oh yeah, you throw that kind of money and you give us a new destination like this. You know, I've drove through Nashville. I've never really had a reason to stop, so it was cool. And then, you know, I got to come here and take my oldest daughter, daddy-daughter road trip, something like this, and that makes it even more special. So this will be on the list every year.
So when you got here and you looked at the arena and stuff, pretty impressed?
Oh yeah, very cool. This setup's awesome. I like these arenas like this. Crowds are crazy, you know, they love you. The energy in these stadiums it's different than anywhere else. Yeah, it's just exciting. It feels big time, for sure.
Give me the intricate details of tonight's ride.
Well, I had a horse I knew of Brookman, you know, Montana contractor, so we both drove all the way to Nashville, Tennessee to match up. Knew a lot about him, knew he was really good, and he didn't disappoint. He jumped out there and gave me every opportunity I needed to show off. He had little tricks in there, and I think that helped sell the show a bit, so it was fun.
So you knew it was a good ride from the very beginning or midway, or?
Well, I just put new stuff into my saddle, so I was prepared for anything from getting one jump to getting cantle slapped across the arena, but I guess I figured out how to set them finally, and it felt good.
What kind of score did you get?
It was 86.5. I think I'm splitting first three ways now, which that's just a testimony to how good this rodeo is, especially the first year. A lot of rodeos struggle their first year, and this one, it was pretty flawless, I'll say. Stace did a great job, and the committee's done awesome. They're putting on a good show, and it only gets better every year.
So on every ride that has some distance to it, you got to decide whether it makes sense to go or not, and depending on the horse you have, of course. So as it turns out, it was a wise investment.
Yep, absolutely. And a lot of that comes, I think, with experience, the only place you're going to get it. See how you figure out what it's going to cost, what your chances are of winning, making a check. And I mean, now that I've got kids at home, it takes a lot more of a chance for me to leave the house. You know, I like going if I'm guaranteed to make some money and provide, but I'll look for a good reason to stay home too.
So tell me about daddyhood, being a father.
Gosh, it's the greatest thing I could imagine anyone getting to do. From the moment my first was born, it changes your whole life. Everything's in a different perspective. Your goals and everything change. You know, before kids, I ate, slept, lived, and breathed bronc riding. And not that I'm not as committed now, but it's definitely on a back burner. You know, to me, it's the most important thing I'll ever do is what kind of father I am and what kind of husband I am, and getting to raise those kids. That's don't get me wrong, I still want that gold buckle pretty bad, but if I never get a gold buckle, at least I can look back and say I did right raising my girls.
So does it add pressure having kids and having to, you know, win and stuff like that, or does it take away pressure knowing that, hey, I got this life over here too?
You know, to me, I've fought with both of them. You know, I've fought with the pressure for sure. You know, you're on a cold streak, and it's not just that you're dropping in the standings anymore. It's that you're not making money to provide, and that can be hard. But you kind of have to just get past that. And it took me a while too. I let it pressure me up for a couple of years, and you just have to get past it, get back to having fun. And I mean, we get to live the greatest life in the world. You know, my girls are gonna get to travel the country with me. They're gonna see all these cool places. They're gonna be around the best people in the world. And there's no better way, I don't think. Ranching and rodeoing, I think that's the best way you could ever raise a kid.
So basically, in the rodeo life, every weekend, whatever, is a reunion.
Oh yeah.
It's a reconnecting with family.
Yep. Yeah, rodeos, it's one big family. It's like that since I was in high school. You know, everyone that rodeoed, they all know someone that is from somewhere, and you meet them, and everyone's just connected. You know, it's really cool, and they're all, you know, the same kind of people. That's what I love, is it's a bunch of God-fearing, hardworking cowboys, you know, and cowgirls, and that's the best people. I think that's what the world needs more of right now, is more of that old school cowboy mentality and, you know, God-loving people.
Yeah. You think that, well, I think what you're talking about is real people, you know, sincere, honest, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Amberly Snyder. I am a barrel racer and motivational speaker. Hart put together a trailer that is extremely accessible to me, that makes it possible for me to have more independence with my horses. I mean, truly something that is life-changing for me. If I'm gonna load my horse in a trailer, if I'm gonna take my horse somewhere, if I'm gonna put my best friend in a situation, they deserve the best. That's why I pull a Hart trailer.
Keith Maddox was a huge inspiration in my life. He was probably the most positive person that I ever met. When we were ever faced with a challenge and anything, he would say, "Don't worry about it, ain't nothing but a thing." We're wanting to keep his memory and his legacy alive, so that's what that stands for, positive times. We choose to look at everything that we do through a positive lens, not a negative lens.
From the moment you wake up in the morning, the steps you take determine the trajectory of your life. Where you'll go, the lives you'll impact, the legacy you'll leave. No matter how far you want to go, we'll be there to walk it with you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first every step of the way.
Big Boy Toys.
years, Nashville has offered its voice to rodeo story. From Houston to Cheyenne to San Antonio. Through every jump, every turn, every heart-stopping ride, we've been the soundtrack. But this year, we welcome the rodeo to our home, our town, our music city.
Ain't your usual stop, is it, boys?
Right here in the heart of Broadway, where honky-tonk neon meets daredevil grit, rodeo and country music collide.
It's glory and history in the making.
This is Music City Rodeo.
We rodeo.
Hey, boys. Been a while since we've seen this much livestock on Broadway.
What's the future for you after rodeo?
Right now we're kind of working on buying a place up north. You know, I don't think in the world anymore you can really start a ranch from scratch unless you're extremely fortunate. But we'd like to just have a little place up there, raise some cows, mess with some horses, and just have a peaceful life after this. You know, I've done a lot of traveling, so I'm turning more into a hermit than I already was. And I'd like to, when I'm done rodeoing, I'd like to just have a nice little home and raise some kids, get back to just cowboying.
So I was talking to Tim O'Donnell about, getting your mind right before a ride, basically. He says he's kind of there's two of him. One's a crazy maniac.
Oh, I've seen that, Tim. Oh, yeah.
And anyway, I talked about focus. How do you focus? But what I also talked about was, that focus is actually kind of like peace. Peace and confidence. How do you get yourself there?
To me, it's the less I think about it when I'm at the rodeo, the better I do. To me, it's like you said, it's the peace and the confidence, and that, to me, that comes from the work you put in before you get there. You know, you're not going to get to the rodeo and change how good you ride in the hour before the rodeo when you're there. So you need to show up confident you did everything you can to be the best you can. And then when you show up to a rodeo, it's just time to shine at that point. Takes the pressure off. I used to be a big pressure up guy. I'd have to get all amped up and everything, but once I started being successful with rodeo, I realized it was the preparation. That's where your confidence comes from. So as long as I'm working hard when I'm home, I'm pretty confident when I show up and I just do my job.
So I fly out tomorrow at 2:30 and go through Denver and then back to North Dakota. And I'll be at the airport at noon. Just because, why add any pressure to your travel? Do you do that?
Oh, yeah. I think, when I was younger, it was the last minute of everything I could possibly push. I was showing up right before it was too late. But the older I get, I like the peace of just knowing it's there. I'll show up 2 hours at the airport early, even if I'm sitting there for an hour and a half. At least I know I made it. Tired of the rush. I like to just enjoy it now. Same with driving. We left early yesterday afternoon to get here. It was only 11 hours, but figured then you can just kind of ease along. If anything happens, you're safe on time and makes it a little more peaceful.
Yeah. Do you like I like driving because driving the highway is kind of therapy for me.
Yeah. I'll fly when I have to, but I hate flying. To me, it's too chaotic still. I like just driving. Then it's all on you, and I know I'm a good driver. I don't even see the pilots in a plane, and that makes me kind of nervous. So I don't know what they're doing up there, and I like the control of driving. I'd rather do a 12-hour drive than fly and save myself half of that.
Are you a guy that requires a good night's sleep? Do you have to sleep a lot, or?
I'd like to. I like my good nights of rest, but some of my best streaks of riding, it's like 4th of July run when you're just sleeping when you can and it isn't much, and I'll ride great and feel like exhausted all day, somehow it works for me when I'm rodeoing, but I like to get a good night's sleep. I'm not really to bed early kind of guy, but I'll get my 8 hours.
So what do you do to stay in shape?
I train with Doug Champion with Champion Living. So I train with him. He sends me workouts on my phone, and when I'm at home, I can work out there. I got a little gym and go into town if I need to. Traveling, Planet Fitness, Anytime Fitness, stuff like that makes it pretty easy. And then just spurboard and bucking machine when I'm home, because the muscles you use bronc riding, there's very few gym-related workouts that really prepare you for riding a bronc. It's different than anything you'll ever do.
What are your eating habits?
I kind of carnivore diet it without actually being on a diet. Some fruit, steak. My wife makes me eat a lot of vegetables, which is probably good, but I don't appreciate it. And yeah, pretty good. I'm not much of a sweet tooth guy, so I think that saves me. But
So you've been married how long?
we actually just got married, but we've been engaged for forever, and just finally found the time to have a wedding. And I think I've been saying we're married for the last 4 years, so I count that. But the wedding was a month ago, so we're a little late.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, and I actually asked Tim about this too. He was bragging about his wife, and I said, how do you find a girl that puts up with a rodeo cowboy or can adapt to that life?
I don't think you find them. I think God gives them to you. If you try to find one, you're gonna force it. It ain't gonna work. But if God finds one that's gonna fit you good, that makes you better, it's His timing. Just like everything in life it's up to Him. His plan's better than anyone I've ever come up with. So you just trust that and wait.
And that's kind of a way too, for me, I was given this book called Jesus Calling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really all about realizing that you're not in control or giving up control.
Yep.
And actually, that's a real way to find peace.
Yeah.
And take the pressure off your own shoulders,
Yeah, that's anytime I'm struggling with a cold streak or if we're anything. I mean, you just remember He has a plan, and all you have to do is learn from it. I feel like everything hard in life is just a test, so if you figure out what He's trying to instill in you, then it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a challenge. Being competitive, I like a challenge, so if I can figure out what He's trying to teach me, it helps. And then, the pressure off your shoulders. I mean, you trust in Him, you don't have to worry about anything else. And it's nice.
Rodeo cowboy or anybody in life, from what you've learned, somebody younger than you, what would you say to them?
I mean, first I say get close to God. That's, to me, you pick up that Bible and dive into it, really understand what's going on, it helps. And other than that, it's just work hard, no matter what. If you want something, you work as hard as you can for it, and you'll never have any regrets about it. You take every chance you can to get better in every aspect of anything you love, then you're gonna be the best version of yourself when you finally get stuck in the ground. And that's all we can ever hope for, I think. It's improving every day. 1% every day is a lot of percent by the time you're done.